and thank you so much for joining me here on So Checks. I'm Academia, and today I'm going to be doing a manga review. It's Mieruko-chan. I'm not sure if I'm saying it correctly, but it's this super, spooky manga, but it's really cute, too. So it's by Yen Press. It's not that big. It's being made into an anime now, which is supposed to be like horror comedy, but there was no comedy in the trailer. So I don't know how they're going to do that, or if they really are doing that. I don't know if that's just something I read and misinterpreted or what. But it was recommended to me, as soon as it came out. And I have issues 1, 2, and 3's pre-ordered or whatever. I'm not sure. I've got 1 and 2. And that's something. And basically, it's to read the back. A normal girl was living a normal life until she wasn't. One day, she could see everything. What's a girl to do when hideous monsters appear no matter which way she turns? And on top of that, nobody else can see them? Obviously, there's only one thing that makes sense. Ignore them. Kind of hard to put theory into practice, though, when the ghost knows she's watching. And I think that's a bit up for debate. So, she can see these monsters everywhere. She'll just be on the bus, she'll be walking down the street, and there's all these, ghosts and ghouls. There was this bitch on the bus that had 3 heads and was talking to herself. They just kept repeating the same phrases. No freaking way! What do you think? So funny! Ha 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 ha! And they'd be like, no freaking way! And they come up beside her. And so she just sits there trying her best to ignore it. Freaking out, having an existential crisis, having losing her mind. She saw these 2 people. This one guy, his girlfriend, I guess killed herself. I'm not entirely sure. That he was cheating on him. And he's got a new girlfriend, and so he has a ghost of the old girlfriend, and the girl he's dating, has ghosts of many boyfriends, and I guess they all killed themselves, so they're made for each other. But he tried to hit on this girl, and since she can see the girlfriend tried to talk to her, and she's like, no. And that's just some of the tiny little scenes that have happened. She sees these ghosts everywhere. In the bathroom with her, and her brother breaks in there, and I guess they shower together, and it's whatever, because they were younger, I don't care. But he thought she had a boyfriend, which is why she was acting weird. But really, it was that she sees fucking ghosts. It's she just cried. And so it's just like on the cover. Every time she turns around, she's crying. And she's miserable. And she's freaking the hell out. Because she can see the ghost. Now, a couple times where she's talking to someone, a ghost, which is so rude. The ghost should have better manners. They're in Japan. 90% of the culture is manners. Why are they so rude? I don't understand. But so these ghost things will just walk right up while you talking to somebody and look you right in the face. You're like, can you see me? And you're like, bruh, bag the fuck up. But you can't say that because I guess she doesn't want them to touch her. But she can walk right through them. I think it's all just the psychological trauma of, that's fucking scary. I don't like that. It does not look right. No, honey, no. So, this whole manga is just her, oh, there's something scary. I'm just gonna disassociate. And she'll just kind of, she could look, she could pretend like she's not seeing them and still talk to the people on the other side of the ghost. But for the most part, she just kind of phases out and, just acts kind of crazy. And she has her best friend who has so much energy it almost repels the ghost. Although there's this one ghost that's totally a perv. It goes all over her friend and just grabs her body and it just all over her. And basically it seems like a pervy ghost. And the only way she gets rid of it is when the nurse walks in and she has bigger tits. So the ghost jumps on her. Which is really creepy. Why? Why is this in a school? That's a real perv. That's not cool. But yeah, so... Sorry. It's a lot of like psychological trauma for her, even though nothing has physically harmed her. Like, she did buy like sacred prayer beads to try and repel the spooks, but it did not work. And I'm gonna scoot back because I really like my outfit and I can't see any of it. Like, I have bat wings and everything. So she really just isn't handling it. And she doesn't have someone who can talk to her because her friend can't even watch a horror movie without freaking the fuck out. So she can't talk to anyone. She won't talk to her family, who I think, and of course, spoilers, which if you haven't realized the spoilers, by the amount of spoilers I've told you, then... And that's all I have to say. So there's this creepy ass thing, and it's in there, and it's like, ooh, she's like, okay, so I'm really confused on if the mom, I think the mom is alive for sure. This is the spoilers. So, like, there's this big-ass ghoul that looks like something you'd see in, like, fucking, I don't know. The dad's down there and talking. You see the table is set for 3. So, I think the mom is fine. Plus, if they had a shrine for the father and the mother, they would be together. So, they're talking about how, like, Dad's talking to her. And she doesn't actually directly answer anybody because there's a monster in there being like, you're going to be late. And you got the mom that's like, eat your breakfast. She doesn't really respond to anyone. Not her dad, not her brother, not her mom. Until they all ask her what's wrong, and she's like, it's nothing. And she was like, there's a pudding in the fridge. And they're like, if you don't write your name on it, it'll get eaten, you know. And then Mom brought up, you did have a huge fight with your dad when he ate the last one. And the dad's like, don't bring that up. But no one's responding to the dad. And then the monster's just repeating pudding over and over and over and over. Just pudding, 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 pudding. She goes to the thing, gets out this chestnut pudding, which I want to know what the fuck that tastes like. I bet that's good. I got roasted chestnuts when I was in Paris for Christmas a few years ago. From a street vendor, but they weren't as good as I wanted them to be. So I want to try again. But chestnuts. That was my first exposure to chestnuts. She takes the pudding out. The brother leaves. The mom goes away, wherever, or maybe she's just standing at the doorway. But the girl doesn't respond to her at all. So, I don't really know. This is my big question for the video, I guess. And she walks up to a shrine of her father. That's clearly a shrine. Like, a little... He's done. And she gives him the chestnut pudding, which is apparently what they had a big argument about. So, probably right before he died. Whatever happened. And he's like, for me, Miku, I'm sorry for just eating it before. I really wanted to apologize for that, but I never... got to make things right, did I? And then she just says she's heading out. And the monster's still talking about pudding, and the dad's like, no, that's mine. Miko gave it to me. And then she's talking about how complicated father-daughter relationships are. And then there's just this really cute picture right there at the end. So what confuses me is I'm 99.9% sure that I haven't read the second one yet. I'm 99.9% sure that the dad is dead. Don't know how, don't know why, don't know what. I'm pretty sure the mom is alive, but I'm not certain. I know the brother's alive. He seems to be a pain in the ass. But there was a table set for 3, so I'm pretty sure the mom's good. I want to know when she started seeing the ghost. I want to know if she started seeing the ghost when her father died. This is just like my guess. Is that after he died, that's when she started to see them, and then that's when... things started to get weird, because maybe she's supposed to help resolve this feeling of guilt she probably has for having had an argument with her dad right before he kicked it. Not certain, but that's what I'm thinking. I also thought it was super funny. There was like this like priestess witch lady doing tarot readings and basically scamming people out of an ass ton of money like you shouldn't do. And like, I feel like some actual practitioners will just scam people just because they want money. That's not the honest thing to do, but neither are corporations. So, like, while I personally wouldn't want to get scammed and personally wouldn't want anyone I care about to get scammed, like, I appreciate your hustle. Someone's got to make money, and there are idiots born every day. If you're stupid enough to give someone a few $1,000s for something you could do yourself in 5 minutes, then you're stupid. I'm sorry. I don't feel bad. This old woman, that's like the priestess lady, has some sacred beads that were charged the most in her prime, and they are the last of her most strong energy. Breaks within 2 seconds of getting on this girl. And that's when the old lady packs up, closes down permanently, and quits. Another thing I really enjoyed from this issue is probably my actual favorite thing. So there's like the beads breaking. Sit, boy. Sorry. That's some. Inuyasha. Kakame. Inuyasha. Kakame. I'm sorry. So, one of my favorite things in here is when the girl sees these two people. So there's this one guy, he's like a tall, bald guy. He looks creepy as fuck. And the girl, they find a kitten. And her friend doesn't want to give that guy the kitten when he walks up. She's like, oh, you want the kitten? I don't like this. And then some other guy walks up and he's like a pretty boy. And he looks so stylish. But this is when our main girl chimes in. She's like, let's give it to this guy. Well, he was here first. The real reason? She can see ghosts around these people. Around the pretty boy is a bunch of mean, horrific dog ghosts. Oh, yeah. That was the creepy girlfriend. The girlfriend of that guy who's like a piece of shit. Yeah, so they find that kitten, the home with the guy that they thought looked sketch. But it's okay. Because when they get home, you see that, which that's the kitten on the back. When they get home, you see that the kitten scratches the fuck out of him in the face, and he's just like, it's okay. It seems that he had 2 kittens and either a daughter or a wife before. But they've all passed, and they're all ghosts. And I guess it made him so happy to finally have a cat again after this woman died. Because she's a ghost, and she looks really young. I can't tell. And it's a comic, so I really can't tell. And so she could be a child, but she could also be like his wife and just no. I can't tell. Because he's really tall, too. So, I would look like an infant. I don't know. Plus, they're ghosts, so they're not really walking anywhere. And the cat's got 2 fucking tails. Those are the ghost cats. So, I don't really know. But I'm so happy that that guy ended up being a sweetie pie. Because that was really nerve-wracking. Because I was like, oh no, she agreed to give it to him. Is everything actually okay? You see the cat ghost around him, but they look like a happy cat ghost. The pretty boy had what looked like scary dogs, which I guess he was going to feed it to his dogs. I don't know. Maybe he's just an abusive prick. I don't know. All I do know is that was spoopy. And I feel like, there he is. So he got home. See what I'm talking about? Like, she looks really young. She could be like, could have been his wife, but she also could have been like his teenage daughter. Like, I'm not sure. But yeah, so he gets the cats and he's so happy with them. His name is Nyansuke. Nyansuke. And he has a Twitter. I think that's a Twitter. He has a Twitter. Isn't he a cutie? But yeah, so I'm glad he got something to make him happy after the loss of his family. So that's really sweet. Whereas that boy was like a major creepazoid and had all the like spoopy dogs. Like, that's scary. I'm glad they didn't feed the cat to them. But yeah, so this book, having that being my favorite scene in this whole like issue or volume, it brings up, so like I said, most of the fear comes from psychological, because the ghosts never actually really touch them. Like, they touch them, but they can't feel it. They're not interacting on the same plane. So they're not like, and you feel it. If they slap at you, like, it just goes right through you. It's like, fuck you, Casper. What you packing? Nothing. Only thing you can mess with is spiritual connection. And I don't know if it's spiritually draining on her, or if she, because of this traumatic experience that triggered this sight, that she has such negative energy around her, while her bestie has like such high positive energy and also is like lily-livered as fuck. But this psychological trauma and the repeated trauma every day of seeing these horrific images that she can't just get over, which is more realistic than most like sci-fi, horror, paranormal manga that you see, because you'll see something where they'll be like, oh yeah, there's a ghost, like I'm upset in the first episode, I'm a little upset in the second episode, and after that now I'm working on fighting these fuckers and I'm a pro, like I'm good. I was only upset for a minute, sorry it took me so long, you guys. She's having serious trauma and her response is to no. And it's causing like, kind of like, not quite schizophrenia, but it is that like disconnect from reality and not, because she can't tell the difference between, like, yes, they are monsters and she can tell that they're not like real, but her mind is stressing her out when she sees them because she can't tell if they're real. Plus, when she sees them, if she's not paying attention, like when she was in the mall, they were getting in line for like these like specialty like butt-shaped donuts, and that was really funny actually. They ate the donuts, and the commentary was like, they got a 10-pack of the donuts, and they talked about, they're like, they're really good. They taste just like butts. And I thought that was really funny. Like, that doesn't mean what you think it means. What are you, okay. But she got in the wrong line. And it was like ghosts being eaten by a bigger ghost, which I want to know what the fuck's happening here. Like, is this some kind of kink? Why are they in line to be eaten? I have more questions about that than I should. But it makes me really worried for her, like on a psychological level, because where it's not like physically scary. Like, I'm not worried that a ghost is going to come up and like cut her, bite her, scratch her, eat her. I don't know that they can. This isn't Bleach. I'm concerned about the psychological trauma that she's facing and the weight of this as like her being able to distinguish between our plane of existence and reality versus the like spiritual plane where all of these spooks and ghouls are. Because that can be a big deal if there's a little ghost girl that she doesn't realize is a ghost standing in the middle of the road, and she's like, watch out, and she runs to push her out of the way and gets hit by a car instead. If she's trying to help somebody in the future who looks normal because she sees a bigger ghost coming after them, but that person is fine because they're a ghost and they're not in actual danger of this other ghost, they're just being there, and then she exposes herself to this bigger monster, what if it starts hurting the good ghost to like taunt her further since it can't touch her? Like, I have all these questions, and I'm just so concerned for her like psychological well-being. And, like, her emotional state, like, you keeping all that cooped up and not being able to share with anyone, being able to, like, relieve some of that stress, that anxiety, being able to just find someone to confide in. Even if it's just a splurge to a stranger, she can't. Because she'd have to worry about being crazy. She'd have to worry about scaring away the one friend she has and her brother, who is really nosy but cares about her a lot. And it's like, I don't know. I'm stressed out for her, but I don't find this to be weird or inappropriate or uncomfortable to read. I've heard somebody say that they felt it was uncomfortable to see this girl crying every couple pages and see her so upset, but that's a realistic reaction to what she's seen every single day, and she doesn't even know why. She doesn't know what's going on, and she has no one to talk to about it. So she's just building up, and eventually she's going to pop. And I'm worried about that. I feel no weirdness about seeing it happen. I just feel concerned, even if it's a fictional character. because that's a lot. And I feel like this shows like the stress that can be put onto a body and how that can affect an individual. And I feel like this is a really good like illustration of that. And I can't wait to see how it continues. But yeah, so this was really long for a review for a book that has like less than 200 pages. It's got less than 150 pages, and I just took 20 minutes. Sorry, you guys. It's really good. I really enjoyed it. This first volume has got so much in it, and it made me do a double take a few times, and it's got me so concerned for our main character. So I hope you like it. I will do a volume 2 once I read it, and we'll keep going from there. All right. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'm Academia. If you want to know anything about my fit, I'll link it in the description below. I'll also link where you can buy this on Amazon with an associates link, which gives me a small kickback at no extra cost to you. And it would mean a ton if you would buy it from my link. But if you want to buy it from wherever, I mean, that's your prerogative. I don't care. It would just be really cool. All right. Thank you guys so much for watching. Like, comment, subscribe. I want to see you back here. I'm looking. I don't know how. Okay. Bye, you guys.